Good Thursday morning, and we are Mobile Monica with Mobile Adelaide, and upstairs is Mobile Tessa, and we've got the sweet little Mobile Opus behind us. Let's see, he's somewhere back there in his bed. Why do I come on with the dogs today? Because today, yes, give Mama kisses, is National Spoil Your Doggy Day. So you have to do that now. For all of you that know me, you know that I regularly spoil these little girls and boy. So it's an everyday affair here, but maybe you can do something a little extra for them today. So say hi, Adelaide. Come over here. Look at the cameras over here. She's so concerned about outside because she thinks there's deer out there. How many of you are big dog lovers like I am? These are my babies. If you haven't seen Adelaide before, here we go. She is part Dachshund. She's part Australian cattle dog. And get this, she's part Akita. Then we've got Tessa, who is 75% Australian cattle, shepherd, and collie. And then Opus, full-blown, purebred Shiba Inu. And I love them all. I miss them so much when we were in Alabama. So yeah, I wanted to come on today. She's a sweetheart. She's just sitting here on Mama's lap. Look at this. Say hi, baby girl. Hello, everyone. My mommy loves me very much. How about all of you? Big dog lovers, don't forget to do it. National Spoil Your Dog Day, and give them something sweet. Maybe give them, okay, bye-bye, baby. She's like, I've had enough. You've showed me off, Mom. Do you give them special treats? Do you go do something special for them on National Spoil Your Dog Day? Extra special for them. That's what I'm wanting to know. So you might get them barking if some deer show up. So just know I had to come down into our front room, my room that says blessed. If you've never seen it before, it's an everyday occurrence in my house of how I feel. So good morning to everybody. Today's topic is really attaching itself to me today. And for one of my best friends, for my husband, and for a couple of my clients, they know exactly why. It would have been very, very easy for me today to not show up, for me to just crawl in bed, to maybe lay on that couch, and to just say, nope, I'm not doing it. Actually, looking outside, it's very easy to say that it could have attached itself even more because it looks a little gloomy, looks like it rained, everything's wet outside. It's one of those days where you would just want to not show up in life. I'm going to talk today about showing up no matter what, giving it your 100%. But how do you do that? I wondered as I thought about the topic today, is it something that people feel is either in you, it can't be taught? That's what people think, that it's inherent to be a leader, inherent to want to give 100% always. And some people feel like I can't do that. Look, I wasn't feeling my best. In fact, I went to bed at 7:30 last night. My husband had me take some NyQuil. I could, both Michelle and my husband said they could see something in my eyes. I felt it. It was right in here. I felt like I had a sinus infection coming on, or I felt maybe I would have the flu. There's a person who was with us in Alabama who got very sick. For some of you that know that he couldn't show up for the interview on Tuesday because of a fever. Now there's a difference there. You have a fever in life, you're throwing up or something like that, you don't show up. You're told not to come to work. But if you just have a cold or you just have a sinus thing going on, do you show up for that? Because one of the things as a personal trainer we've always talked about is that you don't work out with a fever, but you do work out with something sinus, maybe a cold, because sometimes just the movement alone gets everything moving around in your body, gets the toxins out. I met this guy behind a cream. It's an EDTA cream, and it's called Detoxicream. I found out some incredible things about that a couple days ago, and I am going to look into relating it to several aspects of life. I told Ron, his name's Ron Partain. I told Ron I definitely want it, so I'm going to be ordering some for several reasons, and I'll talk about that as well today. So National Spoil Your Dog Day. It's national, for me, I'm telling you, it's National Show Up. 100% give it your all, show up day. And then that should be every day. My husband says, why is there national this day, international that day, world this day? And I was like, because everybody wants to have a national something day. It's what people do. It's fun. But I say that every day you need to show up unless there's a circumstance like a fever, obviously an emergency that happens. But when it's just a cold or it's just a sluggish feeling that you have, I want to teach you how to show up, because today, very easy. I almost put a note out that the Real Monica Adams show wasn't going to be on today. And I was like, no, suck it up, Buttercup. Now, sometimes That suck it up mentality was told to our military, and it hurt them because when they came back to transition into civilian life from their military life, they didn't know how to transfer. They didn't know how to, quote unquote, show up. So that suck it up is not what I would tell someone, not the suck it up buttercup, but I would tell you to show up. Show up and figure it out and just be there, be present. That's the most important thing, is when you show up, are you actually present? So we're going to talk about all of that today. I want you to receive the message and see how it relates to your life. I also want to give some special thanks out. Let's start out with our newest sponsor, Kathy Kilo Peterson. So that's Kathy Kilo Peterson. That is the newest sponsor for the Real Monica Adams Show, kkilo.com. And why did I put that up on the screen for you? I wanted you to be able to have that QR code. I wanted you to have her website and her phone number, because if you need an agent, that is the person I want you to call. She shows up. When we're talking today about showing up in life, that's what I want you to understand, that she's not just going to say, oh yeah, you can call me and maybe I'll get back with you when I have a chance. No, she is there, and she feels like she's on call 24 hours a day. She wants to show up at any given moment when you need her. I don't know too many agents that are like that. Life really smacks you in the face sometimes, and then you come crushing down. You've got an issue with your house, you got an issue with your car, with your boat. It doesn't matter when you need insurance, but you don't want to call someone and say, gosh, I need them. In an emergency situation, I need them and they're not here for me. Well, that's the whole thing that is different about Kathy. Kathy will show up no matter where. Doesn't matter where she's located. She said she goes everywhere, and she's a very respected agent. And I just want to thank her for coming on board. kkilo.com, 636-561-6460. And again, remember the name, Kathy Kilo Peterson. Okay, so today is about showing up, being present. How do you get out of the alone, sluggish, depressed feeling and say, nope, I want to curl up on that couch like that sweet little Adelaide is on National Spoil Your Dog Day? That she's not spoiled at all, is she? National Spoil Your Dog Day. So I could curl up with her. I could have not come on to you, but I did. I could have stayed in bed. Here's the thing. When people feel bad, they just stay in bed. They feel like, I'm still a little sluggish, but all you have to do is get up, start to get the toxins out of you, start moving around. I did that at about 5:30, and I was like, nope, I'm going to go back to bed. I'm not going to do the show today. I don't feel it. And then I got up again and said, Monica, show up, not suck it up, buttercup, because if I really was feeling horrible and had a fever, then I wouldn't want to be told that, because then it could send people into like a little bit of a depression. I said, all right, I'm getting up. Let's see how this feels. So at 6:30, I made my tea, which, by the way, I did it on purpose so that it had little doggies on it. This is from our engagement and our wedding and just different times together. But there's baby Tessa. So I wanted to make sure I had the dogs on the coffee cup today because of the National Spoil Your Dog Day. And then I just said, start moving around. You'll feel better. And look, here we are together. That's how you do it. That's our discussion today. We'll have more on showing up when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment, or online, EnvitaHealthandWellness.com. Welcome back on a Thursday. It's one of our mobile days. We are mobile on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And so before we get into the topic, let's say good morning to those of you that have signed on already. So we kick things off with Bill Stadler. Good morning to you. Michael Robert. Hello. Jillian Beckerman and Michelle Harmon. Bill Stadler. Shelley Callahan saying good morning. Linda Eckert. Huge animal lover, Jillian says. Good morning, Kathy. Leona, good morning. You spoil your fur babies. I sure do. Your Cora's part Australian cattle as well. I love it. Mine are spoiled rotten, Bill says. Good morning. Love the dogs. I'm glad. Dana, good morning. Sean, Carrie, Kathleen Morris. Hello to you. Good morning from Phoenix. I love it. On vacation. Did not want to miss your show. Always an inspiration and great start to the day. Kathleen Morris, thank you so much. And by the way, I wish I had some flyers to give you, because that's what's happening. Everywhere we go now, we are passing around flyers so people know that we are doing this show. And I can see that we are reaching into other states and other countries. And that is it. Cheers to all of you for finding the show. This show, if it's brand new to you today, is all about positivity. It's all about helping you change your life from the mental side, the emotional, spiritual, soulful side, and the physical side as well. Get you moving, get you nutrition that you need, fuel to actually show up, which is what we're talking about today. Linda says, haha, I told myself the same thing this morning. Suck it up, Buttercup. I wasn't feeling my morning walk, but I'm out and about anyway. That's it. And don't you feel better after you do it? Yes, you do. Adelaide, hi, precious, Carrie says. Marilyn, good morning to you as well. Linda, glad you chose to come on. Getting up and moving does help. It does, Linda. Katie, Ross, good morning to you. Joe, is it Mew? Maybe? Good morning. Josh Skelton, good morning. Yes. So I said it is National Spoil Your Dog Day, and there's one of the spoiled ones. Adelaide, are you spoiled? No. Don't show me, Mom. Don't show me. And then Opus, the sweet boy. You know what? Speaking of getting up and showing up, that dog, we're pretty sure, was abused in some way. And when you pay attention and you're more present in life, you see the beauty and the aha moments. So this little boy we've had for a year, and for him to start to chew on a bone, which is something he doesn't do. He's not treat motivated. He's not toy motivated, but it's those little things that give me a chill, because I'm like, look, coming out of the shell, deciding to show up and trust. Trust, again, is also a really hard thing for so many people. As far as showing up, okay, here's the question answer kind of a thing that I want to do with you. Do you feel that it's just naturally in someone, like kind of like the athlete mentality, that some people say you're either a really great athlete and you have it in you, you've got it in your genes, maybe your parents or your grandparents were awesome athletes, and so that's why it just goes through the bloodline. I've heard that so many times. People say, well, my child's not that good of an athlete because we weren't, or down the line wasn't. And I was like, you can be taught at any point. So I ask you that question. One, do you think that these kind of things are just inherently in you? And then you can expand upon them, because that's what I hear from a lot of people. Oh, well, you have it in you, and then you can be taught, and you really can become great. No, I think you can become great at any point. It's just someone believing in you, and then that helps you show up. Now, the other comment I get from a lot of people is you're a natural born leader, and other people are followers. I think there might be born leaders, or maybe that's just an old mentality. So many things have changed over the years. I think back to my personal training 25 years ago and how I was taught, and the mindset and the belief of my particular studies and certifications. And it's changed so much. Do you see? We evolve. So if you in the past felt sluggish, you're depressed, you're the kind of person that feels like, I'm not going to show up, I'm just going to go hide in the corner, I'm going to go cuddle up and lay on that couch, and I wouldn't have showed up today. Do you think it's in you to be able to change? Because I do. I believe that at any given point, you can start walking the path and decide, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to be sluggish. Because, I see these people show up for work, but they don't really show up. They just walk through the door, and then they go to their desk and they just go through the motions. If they do that at all, or they call in because now they're given the opportunity to work remotely, and so they just go through the motions at home. If they do it all, some of them cheat the system and say they put in their however many hours of work they're supposed to do, and all they do is lay on the couch, they're on their phone, they're sitting there eating, they might go for a walk, they're cheating their job. Well, I wouldn't consider that showing up, would you? Answer that to me. So those of you that are signing on, welcome, by the way. Welcome aboard to the Real Monica Adams Show, the mobile version of it. I just want to know, do you feel like that you've been that person in the past? And how do we get you to transfer to the person I want you to become, which is to show up? Like I said, if you're just tuning in, it was very easy for me not to. I don't feel 100%, but I'm going to give you 100%. Do you understand that transfer? I do not feel my best. I don't feel as bad as I did last night, though. So see how things can change. I went to bed 100% feeling like, did I just catch something from someone? Because all I did was sneeze and thought there was something in the air. And then I felt my eyes a little weird. And then I could actually hear it in my voice, a little nasally. Then it was right in here that I felt like, was this a sinus infection? And I went ahead and took the NyQuil, went to bed. I'm not a fan of taking medicine, but I knew I had to get up and be here for you. So it's one of the reasons I did. I took some recovery, which I'm very, very big on it. That very much helps go molecularly into the cell and helps get some toxins out of the body. Took that as well. I got up this morning and felt the effects of what I don't like, which is that NyQuil or anybody taking anything that helps you sleep. It might help you sleep, but then it helps you also be very sluggish the next day. And that's just not a feeling that I like. So I try to do everything as natural as possible. I agreed to take it because I had a feeling that something was coming on. Well, here I am. If I continued to lay in bed, do you see this? If I continued to lay in bed, then I would not ever know that this was possible, that I could have just stayed there, because when you're laying down, it's all down. The toxins are still in you. When you rise up, and that's the analogy of it, the rising up in life, it's suddenly like, okay, this can drain out of me. Maybe I'm not the normal, energetic, crazy, let's go take on the world immediately, but I can get myself there. I mean, we're only 45 minutes from when I got out of bed and decided I'm not going to get all fancy. I'm not going to put some, fancy dress or something on. I'm at home, but I am going to show up for these people because I made a devotion to you. And that's what I'm asking for you to do is wake up, receive this message, and take it along with you, and then pass it along. It's the biggest thing in life that we can do, is pay it forward. So the message you hear today is, hey, to your children, to your parents, to your coworkers when you're at work. And if they say something on the lines of, you know what, I don't even feel like being here today. How many times have you said that? I don't even feel like being here today. And you really aren't. So you've already spoken it out, and you become what you speak. I don't feel like being here today becomes, I'm not really going to be here. I'm just going to have my physical presence here, but I am going to fall asleep at my computer when the boss isn't looking. I'm just going to go ahead and search online on that Amazon. Oh, that's a good deal. I'm going to go to Prime and I'm going to get it delivered to me 24 hours today. And here I go. You're not working. You're not showing up. Not the way I'm asking you to show up today. Your physical presence is there, but you're not showing up. Do you all agree that I have showed up for you today? And I'm asking you to show up for me, to hear the message, and to spread it around the world, because that is what the mission statement was when we started this show. So do you see the difference? You tell me how what I did at 6:30 to now is different looking than me just saying, hey, everybody, I'm not feeling my best. And would you want to watch that? No, you want to come on and you want to say, yeah, I've been there. I've done that. But I'm going to erase that, and I'm not doing it anymore. Moving forward, I am going to get out of bed and I'm going to see, do I have a fever? Then you're going to go back to bed. Because what does that mean? That's the body asking for some help to release the toxins, fight the infection, and get some sleep. I didn't have a fever. Even if I just had a cold, I would have come on to you. Look, if you listened to me over the years in radio, if you watched me in television, you know that I had gone on before. I did traffic reports. I did anchoring where you heard me a little nasally. That's because all I had was a cold or a sinus infection or whatever it was. That's not going to hold me back. So where did I get that from? Nobody taught me. My mom and dad didn't say, suck it up, buttercup. In sports, when you're playing, if you haven't really had a bone sticking out of your body or you're unconscious, you have an injury and you're not necessarily told to suck it up, buttercup, but you're told to get back in the game if in any way possible you are able to get back into the game. And the game for us is the game of life. How do you get back into the game? I'm not struggling with a broken bone or a fever or something that's going to hold me back, that a parent or a coach or an educator or a husband, wife, child, whoever would say, now hang on, go back to bed. Hang on, you need to rest or get off the field because you can't play the game because you have a broken bone protruding through your skin. Yep, you got to go to the hospital. Look, here's my best example. Maybe it wasn't the smartest. And sometimes I have to get a check, and sometimes we have to have friends and family that say, like if Jim was here, if I had a fever, he would have said, you're not going on. We're going to put a note out there and you're going back to bed. But I didn't have a fever. And sometimes he's such a really sweet nurse, but I have to then step up. So sometimes you have to find your own voice when the people around you want to soften you and say, no, 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 go ahead, go back to bed. No, 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 don't be there today. And that could have very easily happened. Do you believe that? Do you receive that giving you an out? I don't want you to have an out. I want you to find within you. And if I was your constant coach or your parent or your educator, I would say, let's assess this situation. Do you have a fever? Do you have a broken bone? Why couldn't you show up? In some capacity, showing up. That's what I would ask of the question. So if I had children, I would not have given them the out. I think all too often people hear the words, oh my God, our society has softened. I believe that. It's the same thing of everybody getting a trophy. Why does everybody get a trophy? Not everybody won the game. I don't like that mentality. The mentality of understanding winning. I'm winning for you right now. Are you? You're winning for me. Did you wake up and feel kind of the same thing? I'm not feeling my best, but I'll give you my best. Right? So there's a transfer there. I'm not feeling my best, but I don't have an infection. I don't have a fever. I don't have something that can absolutely tear me down. So I'm going to do my best. So when I ask my clients to give me 100%, I've said this before, 100% may not look the same every day. But if you honestly, and you got to be honest with yourself first, if you honestly say, I've really, truly given you my all, I can feel it. I can see it in someone. I can also see if you're just going through the motions or if you're using the cop out of, I don't feel my best. Okay, fine. But give me your all, whatever your all looks like that particular day. Does that make sense to all of you? Let's see some comments. I don't think it's really about being born with it, but how you grew up. That's your comfort zone. And I want to get you out of your comfort zone, right, Linda? I've asked so many times, get out of your comfort zone and then see what's waiting there for you. I mean, the things you can teach yourself of the unbelievable strength that you have within you is a really powerful thing. And it's over here waiting for you to go past this block because you've always been blocked by something. If you don't know how to get across that fence and understand how to jump over here and find what your best looks like, what does 100% look like over the wall? You just have to be willing to climb the wall. Sometimes you need a little assistance. Let's think about those mud runs or toughest mudder, tough mudder, battlegrounds, the warrior dash, those things that I've done. When it comes to the wall, you cannot get up over the wall by yourself. One, it's way too high. So you have to go into your brain and think, how do I get up over that wall? You trust your team. And there's a reason why we don't go at life by ourselves. We have a team, but we don't want a team behind us that's so soft and say, oh, honey, it's okay. Don't climb the wall. Go around the wall. You don't have to do that. Well, that's cheating, by the way. And you would probably lose points. You wouldn't get the points for that particular one. So how do we get over the wall? We strategize. We plan with our team. When we get to that particular part of the run, we're going to pile up like this. I'm going to get on my hands and knees. So you'll have my back. You're going to stand there, but you still won't be high enough. So then this person's going to lift you from there and push you up over the wall. Then you're going to turn around. You're going to reach down and then you're going to help. So assistance as a team to rise up and to climb over the wall. And so then you always do your best. And then you are able to have a rope once you get up there. You take it down and then the next people are able to come up. It's a team effort, and that's what we need sometimes. We need to form a team around us that has strength. Everybody brings their own strength to the table, do they not? And then that's how you thrive. Rise up and thrive, and that's how it works. Does that make sense to you all? It's put your foot forward out of the comfort zone. Exactly, Linda. Great point. I think if you really like and love something, enjoy it, commit to it, do it, then yes, you can be a good athlete or leader. But I think some people do not like or enjoy leadership, so they excel at being the doer, not the leader. Let's say that again. So Leona says, I think some people do not like or enjoy leadership, so they excel at being the doer, not the leader. Leona, do you believe that they've watched, and I love this picture. We actually showed it with when Reed Lowe was on our show. You have the leader and you have the boss. The boss is behind the team shouting, 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 do this, do this, do this. The leader is out in front and is leading the team up over the wall, through life, through the path, through the debris. The leader finds the way through the debris and clears the path for everyone. Do you think people are afraid because they've had bad bosses, that they don't like to be shouted out or told what to do because they're looking for someone to show and they actually want to see that that person's been through the trenches with them? My clients will never do something I haven't done. I won't speak something out of my mouth that I don't believe or I haven't tried. That's what I believe has always made me a better trainer, is that people say, hey, she walks the walk, she talks the talk, she eats, breathes, sleeps, dreams, takes a nap, and is always in the mindset of what I'm preaching to you. So there's a difference, absolutely, between a boss and a leader. I would hope that no one would ever not like or enjoy leadership, because a leadership mentality is way different from the boss mentality. Good morning to Dan. How are you? Always showed up at work. Some days not my best, but kept working. Bills to pay and insurance to maintain. Correct. Now, the thing is, though, Barbara, many people just say, oh, how much PTO do I have? How many vacation days do I have? I'm taking them all. I'm going to screw the company. It's that screwing mentality that I've seen. There's some of us that had leftover vacation, leftover PTO, never used the sick days. I didn't use sick days unless I ever had a fever. And it's very rare that I'm sick. And why is that, by the way? Okay, we're going to get into that. Why is it that some people are more sick than others? Let's say that again. Why is it that some people are more sick than others? Answer me that question. Do you see this person, you're like, oh my God, they're always sick, or they're always sluggish, or they're always depressed. They always have a stomach ache. They always are walking around like, oh my gosh, I think I caught something. Maybe they actually did. But why do you think some people get sick more than others? Let's answer that when we return.
It's the icing on the cake.
The final brush stroke.
The finishing touches make all the difference in your home, too.
Have fun and get started at carolhouse.com/room planner.
With thousands of accessories in our 3.5-acre showrooms.
Get your picture perfect room and the lowest prices in the country at Carol House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com, 314-567-5585. All right, welcome back. It's a Thursday, so it's a mobile version of the Real Monica Adams show. We are at the house always on Thursdays, coming to you and giving you the message that you're hoping that you receive and that you pass along. So when we went into the break, I asked you, why do you think some people get more sick than others on a regular basis? Like, I'm not just saying it's like here and there, but regularly. You can think of somebody that you work with or somebody in your family or a friend of yours, and you're like, oh my God, they're always sick. Now, I'm going to give you my answer and what my belief is in just a second. Let's go back. Somebody said, you love your job. You feel strongly about your mission, so you put your not feeling so good behind you, and you put your followers first. You put your positiveness first. I do love my job. But you know what? Even when I didn't, I still showed up. You know, look, I've been very blessed. I mean, just like it says behind me, I've been very blessed to never hate anything that I do, because I don't understand why someone would stay in something that they hate. I would start to find a path out. I wouldn't just jump ship. I wouldn't just ghost, which is, I mean, again, I'm trying to change this society we're in right now because we're in a very soft nation. And I do mean that parents, I think, have just let the kid, oh, it's okay, honey, stay home. Stay home, stay home, stay home. You don't have to go. Or when you're learning over the computer, you can kind of show up or turn your camera off or walk away from the screen. So many things have been taught to not give 100%. And I'm going to blame at home, or I'm going to blame in the education system, because if it doesn't happen with the parents, and maybe the parents have actually laid down and say, no, we're going to do this, well, then you got an out when the kids go to school and the education system has become softer. These are all my beliefs of why the nation is the way it is right now. All right, let's look. Carrie, when I first start dealing with depression, I would check out. My parents would excuse me from school. I was able to isolate and not have to deal with life. In the past few years, my mentor, and you know who that is, has encouraged me and helped me find the tools I need so I don't isolate, but pick up my tools. And even though I may feel like I'm depressed, I still press through and go on with life. Yes, amen. Make the bed, take the shower, press forward. And guess what, Carrie, when that happens, don't you feel a little bit better? Yeah, the taking the shower is a big, big part, by the way, because it awakens you, whether it's a hot shower or whether it's that ice cold shower, it changes your mood. It changes the mentality. And you get up and you show up and you go on. And you give what you can give, which I hope is 100%. And you'll know, only you can be honest with yourself and say, that wasn't it. That's not me. I could have given more. Then give more. I mean, I don't know. If you want to just skate through life, then that shows who you really are. I don't want to do that. I was taught when I was a young kid to give it my all in my sports, to become anything I ever wanted to become. So I do have to thank my parents for instilling that in me. But if you didn't have the best parents, you didn't have the best at-home life, it doesn't mean, I think that's why I really want to, the message I want to get across here in the next half hour is, if you weren't automatically taught that, you had a broken home, it doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to change. It doesn't mean you don't have the ability to surround yourself with people. If you see somebody and you love the life that they have, whatever it is, whatever strengths they have, whatever they've become, hang around them more. You start becoming what you're seeing, what you're surrounding yourself with. You want something? Don't surround yourself with sluggishness. You want to be over here successful? Then don't surround yourself with someone who's just laying on the bed and is a dropout and doesn't want any more than that for their life. You hang around that, you become that. Okay. Rose, I'm sorry you're not feeling good. I'm better. Had a colonoscopy, side effects. I didn't feel good last night and missed a benefit I go to every year. I worked 35 years and showed up and gave my 100% every day, no matter what. You're a true influence and role model, Monica. We appreciate you. Life's better listening to you. Need a better world, one person at a time. And that's you. But look, I can say things, but it's you to receive it. I can pass it along. I can share these things on my Facebook page and it would stay there alone if all of you didn't do everything I'm seeing happening, which is sharing these shows. You share these shows, you like these shows, you follow here. And by the way, for all of you that have family and friends that are not on social media, that's why we are on YouTube. Now, we've got to get that YouTube audience growing. So that's what I want you to spread the message of, because I want people to know that are not on Facebook that it's okay. We're on YouTube. We are on YouTube, but I want you to subscribe to it. And the reason why is not just to see the show here and there, because you forget. If you subscribe, you get a notification that a brand new show is on every morning at 7 a.m. And I stress again, subscribing does not mean anything more than click, and that means you follow. That's subscribing. The word subscribing makes people think that they're paying for something. You're not. You are just subscribing to get the notification that, hey, Monica's on again. Just like you do on Facebook. You get the notification Monica's gone live. So we are on YouTube and Facebook, but both of my pages, by the way, my personal page that you can follow and my professional page. So yes, you can follow my personal page now. We opened that up. So now we have 23,000 people between those two pages. And then we have the YouTube page that is growing. I think it's only at it's about 300 and almost 400. And then we drop a new episode every Thursday morning on all the audio podcast platforms. So look, that goes around the world. So you've got to start listening to those and then letting people know, oh, You want to hear her message. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on iHeartRadio. And today at 8 a.m., right after we end the show, a new podcast drops about anxiety and that transfer of getting out of the anxiety and how do you walk out of that. So that's coming up for you. Again, wherever you get your audio podcast, wherever those platforms are. Marilyn, I believe you are inspired by those who encourage you, believe in you, and push you forward. I've seen it firsthand from one of my volunteers who could not bring to the table like me. Okay, just some encouraging conversations, and she shocked the entire team. Right. I believe that a transfer can absolutely happen. Good morning, Pamela. Early on in my life, soccer taught me to reach goals by giving it 110%. Exactly, Terry. Many times we have to thank our coaches for that, don't we? Very hard to do every day, but recognizing it and identifying it is the key. Use the tools to move forward. She said for her, waking up and watching you is the start of my day in showing up. I love it. Now I have to process the message and keep striving for success throughout my day. I love your message on showing up. Thanks. You bet, Terry. And it is. So Terry and I played soccer together in college. And so we were taught by good coaches. Like, look, you show up until you can't. And there's something that takes you down. But you have to find out the mentality, because some people will follow people on Instagram and Facebook or TikTok and go, oh my gosh, look at this warrior that's out there. The warrior mentality, but you have it in you as well. You see these people who have no legs, no arms, or a horrible sickness that brings them down. But what are they doing? They're out there training for a 5K or a 10K or a half marathon or a marathon. And you sit there and get so inspired by them. Do you get so inspired enough, though, to do something about it? Don't just sit there and go through the videos and go, oh my gosh, they inspire me. No, the way they really inspire you is that you actually get up and you go do the workout. You get up and you start to change your life and say, I'm going to eat better. And I'm going to start with something small. And then it becomes a part of me. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to surround myself with more positive people. And then just watch how that walk of life changes who you are. So let the video inspire you, but don't spend endless hours on it. I have a show coming up very soon with Boone Cutler, who wrote the book, The Citizen's Guide to the Fifth Generation Warfare. And he has 2 series of it, by the way. What is fifth generation warfare? Well, you're going to have to listen to the show. And I'm hoping that we're going to have that edited for you next week. But a lot of it is how we are brainwashed through our phones, through our tablets, through our computers. That's fifth generation warfare. So the battlefield is now in your own mind by your brainwashing that takes place of what is fed us and our artificial intelligence and the lies that are out there. And we look into our government and the the 3 cups and the ball. Where is it? And we're all watching that while other things are going around us because they're brainwashing. Fifth generation warfare. You're going to hear more about that. But one of the things about that is the mentality of what's going on around us that we're not paying attention and showing up and doing what we can do in the world. You got to be present. You've got to be more focused, people. And you have to be aware. But he also talked about how the children are being brainwashed and being turned against their family, being turned against their parents, being turned against the educators or the coaches. And it starts with the children. The people who are trying to brainwash, they understand that. They know, get to the kids. One of the things that we talked about was, if you're familiar back in history, let's go back to Hitler, the Third Reich, the brown shirts were the young kids, and they made sure that they brainwashed into the young kids to get to the kids because those are your future leaders. The brainwashing taking place there. But the same thing happens with you, that you're brainwashed by someone that says, go ahead and lay on the couch with the dog. You don't have to get up. And then the next day, you don't have to get up. It's okay, honey. You can just stay there and you can give 50% in life. Well, that's not a person I would ever want to be. I want to be the person that a teacher or a future boss says, wow, well, I want this person to be in this job. And that's how, by the way, you get promoted, because they see that you're not just going through the motions, coming to work, your physical presence there, but not actually doing the work. That's the difference that we talked about 10 minutes ago is, are you just here with your physical body, but you're not really here. You're not giving it on the field, in the workforce, in your marriage, in your relationships, in your parenting. All of this goes together. Sally, dragon boat races. Okay, let's go back to that, Sally. Sally, by the way, is going to be on the show very soon. She just needs to give me a date. Sally just won one of the most influential women awards by the St. Louis Business Journal. Rock star, so deserving. She also is in a collaboration with a new book that came out. She believed in herself. She shows up. She trains. She's a rock star. So we can actually ask her, how did you ever get to be the elite athlete that you became? Was it taught to you, Sally, if you're still on, or did you teach yourself? Because I believe I started the show by saying you might be inherently a leader by the bloodline that you have. But I think it, to me, it's greater strength to say that you taught it to yourself. That maybe, I mean, that's the more beautiful thing is to say, I grew up in a broken family. I didn't have present parents or siblings, but look who I became. You love to read the stories or hear the stories of the people who had nothing and became so ridiculously successful. So that's why I do believe that you can teach it to yourself. Sally, if you're still on, tell me, how did you ever become the level of the athlete that you are today to then want to give back so much that you became the teacher that you are today? So she has her own racing and endurance company. Those are all the things we're going to talk about. Entrepreneurial spirit. Where did that come from? I don't know. Let's find out. Barbara, you're teaching resilience, a very fine trait to own. Absolutely. Leaders are the best. I have one now. Work is so much nicer with a leader. Yes, instead of a boss. That's what Julie Fabian says. Wayne, good morning to you. Yes, I'm sure that if people have had bad leadership examples, that would turn them off at wanting to try the leadership job. Fear. Okay, but there's a difference. So when they have the proper leader, not boss, yes, that mentality will change. Okay, one of my best managers said that she never asked her associates to do anything she wouldn't do herself. Amen. That's what I said. So whenever I was blessed, why does that hang there? Because I believe when I was blessed to become someone's coach, as a life coach, blessed to be someone's trainer, blessed to be the director of wellness, blessed to be an anchor, blessed to be a host, to be a motivational speaker, to be an MC, to be an auctioneer, to do my design and wardrobe consulting. Anytime I am blessed to be in someone's life, actually present in front of them, I feel it is a blessing that you've trusted me to do that role. And so I'm going to show up and I'm going to give you my all because you trusted me enough. Why would you have the trust in me and then I just half-ass it? Would you ever want to come back to me? No. Why have people trained with me for years? Why do people come to my life coaching class Thursday nights? Why have people hired me to be their life coach? Because I bring it and I give you my all. Just do it. Nike did coin that phrase well. Just do it. Not the suck it up buttercup, because people don't want to hear that, but just do it. Get out of bed and just do it. No, I did not feel my best and I am a little off, but you tell me, am I giving you my all? Do you feel the message in me? Then that means I'm giving you everything that I can give you today. That's what I want you to understand. Jillian, I'm super glad that you walk the walk about lifestyle and working out. I've seen people walking out of the gym light up a cigarette. Ugh. Or people who work and act like they live healthy, but then eat junk food and fried foods all day. Nope. Walking the walk, talking the talk always. It's what you're feeding your body that causes poor health. Eat clean and get moving for good health. Sometimes depression leads to poor health. It does. It absolutely does, Rose. And in fact, I will forever say that we do bring on many of the illnesses that we have. Stress is the number one killer in life because stress leads to cancers. Stress leads to so many different illnesses. It also leads to depression. So how do you get rid of that? You do everything you possibly can to eliminate the stress. I'm telling you, it's who you surround yourself with. It's who you decide to put in your inner circle, your tribe, that tribalization mentality. But there can be tribalization that takes you down a horrible path. Dehumanization, polarization. And then there's this tribe over here that leads you to greatness. Well, who are you going to choose? Is this really what you want over here? Wouldn't you want this tribe? Well, then make the transfer. Stop hanging around the negative, depressive, trauma-filled people that are making you sick. So when I asked, why do you feel that some people are more sick than others? It's because they choose to stay in the darkness, the depression, the trauma. They feed off of trauma. And then they get sick. And you make yourself sick. It's true. Look into it. There are studies upon studies. From the Mayo Clinic and on down, Harvard, Yale, you name it. There are studies that show you make yourself sick by the stress that you bring on yourself, and you're bringing it on yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Stop blaming the rest of the world. You're doing it yourself. Hello, Gustavo. Terry, I would say some people get sick due to the lack of motivation, nutrition, and hand washing, or maybe it's become their normal routine mentally. Yeah, so there it is. You have to own what you're doing. So you want to eliminate some of the sickness, then do what you have to do. The proper hand washing, the sanitizing that was done during the pandemic. But a lot of it is back to how you eat. Whatever you're putting in your body. You're eating fried foods, you're eating junk food, lots of sugars, lots of salt. Watch how your life is. You're putting on weight, you're sluggish, and then you get sick. And then it happens again. You eat bad, you get sick. You eat bad, you get sick. You don't work out, you don't live a healthy life, you get sick, you get sick, you get sick. So how do we break that? You start changing. You start eating vegetables. You start eating fruit. You start eating lean proteins. You start eating good grains. You drink your water. You decide to walk away from the negative people. You transfer over to the positive people, and suddenly, ding, ding, ding. Wow, I haven't been sick in a long time. You would be so shocked of how you own your life, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether you are making the decision to do all the good things that I'm telling you to do, or staying in the negativity and constantly getting sick. I don't know about you, but I surely do not want to get sick. So I fought it off. Whatever was trying to grab hold of me last night didn't happen, because here I am. I woke up, I showed up, I'm drinking some green tea, I'm going to make my breakfast, and I'm going to get on with this life today instead of staying in bed. How different would today look if I decided to just crawl up in bed, crawl up with the dogs, and say, yeah, I don't feel my best because I haven't been rising my head up to see how I would feel. The toxins are still in me. Let me get them out. Let me walk around. Let me see how this feels. Well, I walked around and said, let's do this. So let's do this. We've got about 10 more minutes. We're going to read some more of your comments, and we're going to wrap up with the blueprint for value. We're going to make sure that you get the message today, and so that today you can show up.
Warm weather, sand beaches, and boats galore. It's not Florida, it's a Lake of the Ozarks. Florida Direct Palm Trees brings tropical flair to your patios, docks, and yards. From a few feet all the way to 25 feet, there are palm trees for every property. Florida Direct also provides palm tree potting soil, palm fertilizer, large decorative pots, and a wide selection of locally grown tropical flowers and plants to add the perfect accent to your tropical paradise. Florida Direct Palm Trees, bringing paradise to your patio for 14 plus years.
All right, welcome back. If you're just tuned in, that's fine. You can go back and listen to the first 50 minutes of this show. It is the Real Monica Adams podcast and show on YouTube, brought to you by all these incredible friends of ours, as you're seeing. It is Invita Health and Wellness, Florida Direct Palm Trees, Carroll House Furniture, as well as Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialist, and Kathy Kilo Peterson is sponsoring this segment today, State Farm Agent, there to help you in any aspect of your personal life. So Linda said, I snacked late last night, slept poorly, so that's caused my sluggishness this morning. Ding, ding. She got it. I believe that. Yes. So tonight you won't do it again, will you? Otherwise, you are literally saying it's okay to be sluggish. Linda, I bet you changed because you've heard this message. So you won't do that again tonight, because you know that happens, that late night snacking. And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't feel like taking on the world. Of course you didn't, because you didn't give yourself proper nutrition. Jillian, I absolutely agree. Being tough starts at home. Parents want their kids to grow up in a bubble being coddled all of the time. Parents don't teach kids responsibility until they do. There's some great parents out there, and there's some great kids out there, but those that are not thriving, you got to look a little bit closer at home. Marilyn, I'm rarely sick as well, but it is a mindset. I'm a very optimistic and positive, happy person. I choose to show up at everything I do. At a young age, always taught to give more than expected. Attitude is everything. Amen. Tammy, things have really changed in the education system. There's no accountability for the entire system, right? At home and in the education system, where our young minds are being formed. I know people who work but are lazy and lay in bed instead of maybe getting up and exercising. Right. Marilyn, Congrats, Sally. I know she's a rock star. You're on fire this morning. What was in that NyQuil last night? Just NyQuil. But I said it's not holding me down. Yesterday I was ready to come on to you, and then the entire system shut down, and I just laughed. I laugh it off and say, whoever, whatever being tries to shut down this message, you're not going to win. Whether you believe in God and you believe in Satan, and I do, I was laughing, saying, Satan doesn't want me to do this. He wants you to be miserable. He wants you to be sluggish. He wants you to lay on the couch and not get anything done. He wants you to skirt the system. He wants you to cheat your life. He wants you to cheat on each other. It's okay. You want to sleep with this person, but you're married? Yeah, do it. That feeds him. Or it's I am going to be a great parent. I'm going to show up, and then I'm going to be a great teacher. I'm going to be a leader, not a boss. It's all those things. If you follow your faith, you follow God, you follow whatever you believe in, you become all of those levels of people. The great leader, not the boss. The wonderful husband or wife, the incredible parent, the model student, because you decided to take that path. Now, he or it, whatever, Satan, whatever you want to believe in, is very, very skilled at trying to pull you to the other direction. And you got to be strong. And it's okay if you got pulled a little bit, but you've got to be strong enough to get yourself pulled back and away from him, away from it, away from whatever is taking you away from the way you really want to be. I mean, no one's going to wake up and say, I want to be a worthless human being that never amounts to anything in life, and then I'm going to leave this earth. I don't know anybody that's ever said those words. So write in your journal. Why do you think I always have a journal next to me? Write what you want to become, and then just start doing it, and then forming a team around you that will help you become that. Good morning. We are blessed to have you. Thank you, Angie, and blessed to have you as well. I think that what you eat can help anxiety and depression. There's no thinking about it, Jillian. It is. Amen, says Sherry. By the way, you can't really tell because I was a little sick, but I've got some pictures out there that I shared. I went to Sherry yesterday and we put in some new color, did a little bit of a different cut. I'll share those pictures because they came out beautiful. And so she said something also that's very, very true. If you're not feeling your best, go get your hair done. A lot of women, as they get older, they don't do their own hair, right? Actually fix their own hair. They go and get their hair done and set. And then it lasts for maybe a few days for them, or maybe even a week for them. Put some makeup on. So I put a little bit of makeup on for you because I wanted to show up. I didn't just roll out of bed, but I did get up at 6:30, didn't put a dress on, put my workout clothes on because I was going to have my client come over here in about an hour. I have a life coaching session to do in about 20 minutes. And I said, well, I want to look presentable. I don't want to look like a slob. So I did fix the hair a little bit, but nothing like I would if I was in studio or if I was with her, but enough to show you the new colors, the new highlights, the warmth in it. And yes, we feel better about ourselves when we show up. So that's the other thing. My mom always taught me when you walk out the door, look presentable because you never know who you're going to run into. Maybe you'll run into a former coworker. Maybe you're going to run into a future love. Well, they're not going to see you if you look a hot mess. Okay. Sherry says, fuel your body with the good stuff. Take care of your body before you're forced to. Exactly. Everybody does the reaction mentality instead of being proactive. I'm very proactive. Somebody pass me a damn veggie, Sherry says. I agree, Monica. My grandmother always said a body was made to stay in motion. Yes. Very few days for me, but so, you got cut off. I don't know what that was. No more late night snacks. That's right, Linda. You're going to feel better tomorrow because you won't do it. I'm still having a horrible time not eating late at night. Then you need to fuel the body earlier in the day. That's why. Awesome, Monica. Thank you for this. I am around constant ridicule and non-support as a caregiver for my mom. I show up for my mom every day only to be ridiculed by my siblings whom are not there for my mom. It's hard. Yep, but fill your own soul. Keep being there for your mom. You'll thank yourself. Do it for you. You're not doing it for your siblings. You're doing it for you and your mom. Rose says, been there, done that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the show with the blueprint for value. And so I always speak, knowing your value. Your value is really what takes you to where you want to be in life. It's believing in yourself, knowing what your worth is, and then going out and getting it. Speak your truth, speak your voice, speak your mind. Those tools coming up next.
Invest
Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com.
All right, welcome back. It is the wrap-up of the Real Monica Adams show, the mobile version. And as promised, the blueprint for value, 52 habits to discover and strengthen your personal worth. We had Jeff Kozatek on a few weeks ago, and we're going through all of these. So let's go to, I don't remember if we left off at smile or take out the trash. How about I give both of you today? Smile. A smile is powerful, inexpensive medicine. I don't remember reading this one. Smiling releases chemicals in the brain that make you feel good, right? The big smile. Even when you're sad, a simple smile can change your attitude. It's not about being fake. Don't do a fake smile. Not about living in denial. A smile can be a personal mood changer, another tool to gain control over your emotions. You can experience these benefits anytime. You don't even have to see your smile. Smile while driving or looking in a mirror. You can smile when you're alone or smile in a group. Use a smile as often as you like. It never runs out. And it's contagious. You can share generously. So what do you take away from that one? How do you want to feel? Change how you feel with a smile. It fits with what we were talking about today. You know, when we are taught to do commercials or we're speaking in radio when you can't see us, it is if you smile, people hear something different in your voice. Watch. So if I just talk to you like this, it's mundane and I'm just going through the motions. If I show up in life and I'm smiling, you hear the difference in my voice, the inflection in my voice, and you can hear the smile on my face, right? So I was taught that very early on in my radio career. And it was, oh, wow, it's really true. They can't see me, but they can hear that smile. You can hear it coming through the airwaves. Okay, so let's give you the take out the trash as well, because we've got a couple minutes left. Why not? Let go of old baggage. Leave yesterday's hurts and mistakes in the past. They can take up valuable space in your head, and if you hold on to them long enough, they start to define you. What are we talking about? You start becoming the person that you didn't want to become because you didn't take all those tools we've been giving you. You are not your circumstances. You're not your failures. You're not your mistakes. Let them go. Forgive the past wrongs. You are also not a calendar. Empty your brain of clutter. Write down the to-do list. Keep track of things you need to remember in a notebook or an app. Empty the trash can. Organize and simplify as you unclutter your mind. Your brain can only hold on to so much at a time. If you're full of negative trash, you won't be able to remember the positives from the past or the present. Not to mention, it will be difficult to see potential positives in the future. So the takeaway, take only what you need to survive. What extra baggage are you carrying around? Both of those absolutely fit with what we've been talking about today. So Rose said, I've been there and I've done that. And it's their guilty eating at them. They just don't know it yet. Bless you. Bless each and every one of you. So there you go. I am so glad that I showed up for you today. And I'm so glad that you showed up and watched this show. Yes, thank you for this. I have thought this. I just need to remember this. Thank you. Right. Oh, yeah. The old baggage. Cannot get my sister to stop. Tried to get her to coach with you. Not yet. It's okay. Wasn't her time. I have people who are trying to get their kids to me, their sisters to me, their family to me. When it's their time, their whole life will change. Let's just say that. Thank you so much, every one of you. I want you to go out, change the world today. Take the tools, show up in life, be present, do the work, give 100%, and then you'll realize that 100% really can go higher. And your 100% really, when you say, give me 110, 150%, suddenly that's what 100% really looks like. You don't even know what 100% is. When you think you've given 100%, it's probably 50. When you've given 110, it's about 80. When you've given 150, that's 100%. So there's more in you. Just believe in yourself. That's the thing you all have to understand. All right, go out, attack that world today. Show up, be present, and remember, do it with kindness. Love you all. God bless.